This is Edvard from Strid. You're listening to What's Metal.
So it's a pleasure to meet up with you, Edvard, here in Mannheim today for a very special occasion, because you're performing live. So what can we expect of tonight?
Well, we haven't rehearsed much for during the pandemic, so we just started rehearsing again. So for us, this is the first gig in 2.5 years. So I think we have a quite good lineup, so we will be able to present the old songs in the way they should be presented, I hope. So we'll just see how it goes. It's like this first gig for us, so I hope it will be fine.
Yeah. So we can expect the old songs to be played, yeah? Because I heard somewhere that you have composed new material as well, right?
Yeah, we'll play the old songs, of course. That's kind of what people expect, I think. So we'll also play one new song, which is going to be released on the album coming sometime, hopefully this year, by the end of the year. We'll see. So there's one new song, and we'll play 3 old songs, I guess. Yeah.
So I guess the younger generation of our listeners probably don't even know your band. The ones that have been longer in the black metal underground probably are familiar with it. So maybe for the younger ones, could you explain what Strid is all about?
Well, how to explain that? The people have their they're saying we are playing suicidal, depressive suicidal black metal, or whatever they call it. I disagree totally. You could, of course, say it's depressive and melancholic, but what we are really doing, we're trying to, what I'm using to say that if you take the saddest moment you can remember, and if you extend that moment into a long period of time, that's kind of what we're trying to express with the music. So we explore the melancholy and the sadness we can create with simple methods in music, and it's big layers. We have 3 guitars and a very active bass, so we kind of work with the monotonous atmospheres. Mm.
So you just mentioned a minute ago there you want to perform the old songs the way they are supposed to sound. So were you not happy with the old recordings? I mean, it's obviously it's fairly much underground, but I mean, if you listen back to those tracks nowadays, what are your feelings about them?
I personally, I think they're quite good, if you can say so. I didn't make all the songs myself, so I'm kind of allowed to like them, and we're satisfied with the recordings and the sound we had 25 years ago. But we evolve as people, and we change our perspective on music through the years, I guess, and I think you can see or sense some kind of difference. The tracks actually goes a bit slower than they used to in the 90s, and we have tuned our instruments in D instead of C, which we did in 93, whatever. So it's more solid and massive than before, and it kind of fits better, I think. So the hardcore fans, we have a few of them, 1 or 3 maybe, they might not see the similarities or hear the similarities that much, but it's there still.
I'm curious now. So, I mean, back then you recorded a demo tape, or it was basically like a single long song, and you also released a 7-inch on, I think it was Malicious Records back then. I mean, the 7-inch, was that an official release, or how did that come to happen? Because Malicious Records, it's like a former German underground record company, yeah?
Yeah, it was an official release. I think released only in 1,000 copies, and it's been bootlegged a lot of times after, I think. Yeah, but we have recorded a lot of music through the years. In 2009, nobody knows actually. In 2009, we recorded enough material for 2 albums, and we have constantly been, or in periods, we have been recording quite a lot, but nothing have kind of been finished for several reasons. We have lost members on the way, and we started all over recordings, and so for now, I think we are focusing on the new album instead of performing more. And this is just doing it for Johnny and for old time's sake, kind of.
So back when you first started out with the band, was it clear from day one what kind of sound you want to achieve, in which direction it should go? Because at the time when the material came out, I think, yeah, you were extremely unique with what you were doing. Yeah, in certain ways it went kind of like the opposite direction that a lot of your contemporaries went actually at the time.
Yeah, you can also hear there's a difference from the demo in the End of Life demo. I wasn't actually a part of the demo. I joined right after the recording because they figured out they needed a guitarist, one more guitarist. And when I joined, that's when we decided to change the kind of the sound or what we want to achieve. So we added this third guitar. Some people think it's a synthesizer, but it's actually a guitar with reverb and delay and making this carpet of atmosphere and you can kind of hear the difference from the demo to the 7-inch. And for me, that's become kind of a trademark for Strid. That's synth guitar, the third guitar. So hopefully we'll be able to demonstrate that properly today.
Yeah. My curiosity rises, yeah. So a mate of mine said, "Oh yes, I heard that Strid are recording new material. I hope they don't piss all over the legacy." Is that a comment that you hear often? Because Strid has a certain mysticism surrounding it. You know, it never went really anywhere in terms of like a full length before. So is that a concern to you in any way, or?
Not at all. Not at all, actually. People can think whatever they want, and it's basically not them we're playing for. That's if we did play for the audience, we would probably release more. So I don't reckon myself to be a musician, to be honest. This is more like kind of expressing feelings more. So I don't care what people think about my feelings.
So with the new material, do you already know where and when to release it? So do you have like a record company that's on your side to do it, or?
It's actually this might be the first time I'm saying this in public, so thank you for that. We're actually signed at the Prophecy Productions for several years back. I think we made a deal already in 2018. So they are waiting patiently. So and I think that's a very good label to be on for us. So we're happy about it. And when, it's too soon to say. I don't really know. So the tracks is like finished, all of them. So we just need to get that proper recording. Yeah. So.
So Germans are known to be very happy traveling, yeah. And I heard that you're also organizing a big music event in Norway. So maybe you want to attract some German audience also to join. Maybe give us some details on what that big event is that you're planning there.
I think it's a pretty great event. We made this festival in 2019. It's called Imperium. And we basically have a fortress, a very nice and unique fortress from the 1600s. In Halden, Fredriksten Festning. It's actually the same place where Karl XII, Swedish king, was killed in 1718 or something. So it's a very important historic landmark, actually. But now it's more like a cultural monument or memorial site. So they have a lot of concerts during the summer and the autumns. And so the 7th to the 9th of July this year, like 5 weeks from now, Thursday to Saturday, it will be like 18 bands, mostly Norwegian ones. We have Vebundsende, Dødheimskar, and Gehenna, and Carpathian Forest, and we have Aklis from the United States, first time in Europe. The Ruins of Bebrast from Germany. We have Varatron from Greece. Some unknown Norwegian bands, and it's going to be a very unique event. I think we have on purpose kind of avoided the biggest commercial artists, both because of the insane fees they demand, but also to keep this trying to make this kind of festival I would really love to attend when I was a young guy. Yeah, so people should really come. You can find the website at imperiumfestival.no, and then on social media, of course. And I really hope people can appreciate what we're trying to do. And we are definitely here to stay. It will be a festival in 23, and so I'm looking forward to it.
So guys, yeah, remember that name, yeah, and look it up and maybe go there. Okay, so the show is called What's Metal? What's your definition of metal, or can you describe it in any way?
Well, metal is. Do you mean like the in big terms the music, or do you mean the cultural?
For you personally, is there any meaning to it? Or?
Yeah, of course. It's like it's been a part of my life since I was 11, 12, 13 years, something on and off in periods, of course. But it's probably not defining. I'm not defining myself as a metal person, kind of. But it's just something that's nothing I can do about. It's so. And I think metal in general kind of represents the freedom of being whoever you are and whatever you want to be. And what I experience and appreciate about the metal community is the, how to say, it's open to everyone. And I think that's kind of important in these days where times are hard.